Hey artsy friends, welcome to my second composition notebook art journal series. I called it Be Patient with Paper Bags because I never know whether to title it the title of my page or to give you a hint as to what kind of media and tools I'm using. So I kind of combined the two because I'm using paper bags. Actually, technically this is not a paper bag. This is the paper that comes in the packaging. So I don't think it's quite as thick as a paper bag, but it's the same color. You could probably use a paper bag if it was not super duper thick. Actually, you could probably use that if it was super duper thick, but that's not what this is. So I'm just tearing it in pieces and Mod Podging it all over my 2-page spread. Okay, once that's done, I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to just flip the pages over and trim off the edges that are sticking out. So I went to my old scrapbook paper stash and pulled out anything that was black and white, and then also tore up a security envelope that's black and white. And then I am going to do some scripty writing, and I don't know if I'm going to use it like as one piece for my quote, or if I'm going to tear it up and use it like as part of the collage material. So I'm kind of purposely writing it a little bit sloppy and it's running into each other, and I'm just going to do that a bunch of times and decide what I like. I did use 2 different markers, and this marker on the top is much better. It's much more opaque, so you can't see through it. And I'm just having fun writing my little quote over and over. Be patient when becoming someone you've never been before. We're always changing and growing, and so we need to be patient with ourselves. So I use the back of some happy birthday scrapbook paper because I don't think I'll ever use it. I'm not really into card making, and so yeah. All right, now I'm just going to tear up the other pieces and kind of arrange them around the spread. And at this point, you're not really gluing anything down. It's just experimenting, like coming up with the collages and the shapes of pieces and what you like and don't like. Do I want it to be kind of symmetrical, or do I want it, to follow kind of like a triangular pattern, which I do a lot. So it's just experimenting, moving things around. Okay, so I really like this beautiful paper, and I'm thinking of cutting out some of these little florets to create more of a focal point. So we'll see. Still just kind of gathering all the pieces. The thing about mixed media and art journaling is you can play around with the layers. So you might have your collage kind of in the background, or you might have it in the front. So I'm setting aside my collage materials right now, and I'm going to go build up kind of the background a little bit more. This green thing is a pot holder. Okay, that sound you just heard in the background, it was my daughter. That was her hiccup. We like to call it her pterodactyl hiccup. Anywho, the next stencil that I use quite often actually is this little insert that comes in the packaging of my Zip Fizz, my energy drink. So it has all these nice little circles that I can stencil in any shape, form, or fashion. I like kind of varying the pattern a little bit. It reminds me of like Braille or something, or some kind of code. But I'm going to do some black and white circles since that's kind of the theme. My color theme is black and white, which I guess technically isn't. Are black and white considered colors? She doesn't know. Okay, maybe one of you can educate us. Are black and whites considered colors? Since they're not on like the spectrum, but you can tint and shade colors with black and white. Okay, now I'm getting my fingers in the paint because I like to do that. Okay, now that I have made my background a little bit more interesting, I'm going to pull out my collage materials, and I'm kind of like starting over as far as like the arrangement goes to see what I want to do. Now I've got a little bit more to build from the background, now that I've got some, you know, lines and dots and patterns, and it gives me a little bit more to play with. Okay, now that I have my collage all glued down, I'm just going to add some mark making with my Posca markers. This is always a fun way to add more detail. So you've got each layer. So you have the original paper bag as your base, and then you've got some stenciling and some paint, and then you have your collage materials, and now you're going another layer with more marks. So I feel a little bit like a football coach with all these X's. Like I'm like, here's the play. Okay, the quarterback goes here. Now if I draw some arrows, you know, maybe, I don't know. But don't be afraid to overlap your mark making and your stenciling and all the different layers. It just adds greater depth to your page. So now I am going to write out my quote on a separate piece of paper, and I'm actually using like the back of a 3x5 note card because it's a little thicker, and cutting it out at different angles so it makes for the wording to get larger to smaller and I'm using all caps, and I'm just trying to, I want the words to look very hand-drawn, right? I don't want it to look too neat and tidy. Somehow my pictures came out with a little bluish tint, but anyway, that's my page. I hope that you enjoyed watching my process and that you feel inspired to go make some art. I hope that you come back and hang out with me again. Have a blessed day.